And we're live.
We were just talking about The Last Dance with Jordan, and that Woody has. I watched it the other day, but god damn it, I spilled a lot of tea on myself.
So on PKN, Kyle was saying he watched The Last Dance and he really enjoyed it, and I had only read some of the people's in it responses. Pippen in particular felt disrespected, and I don't know, basically strong dislike of Jordan because of how he was portrayed. Now I'm watching it, and Pippen doesn't come off so bad. Maybe a little soft, but I don't think they painted him like a bad guy. No,
I think what we're seeing is that Pippen was soft and is soft.
He's a little sensitive.
He's still a bitch today. Like Charles Barkley. I can't think of, I don't know who he was making fun of the other day because I don't follow basketball, but I guess somebody had given them
Paul George.
Paul George. What was Paul George calling himself?
Playoff P.
Playoff P. He's like, you can't call yourself Playoff P. You don't go to playoffs.
No,
you don't see me calling myself champion. If you're losing in the playoffs, you don't see me calling myself Championship Charles. Yo, what's up, CC? Nah, don't nobody say that. I didn't win no championship.
Charles Barkley is the best basketball announcer on air, according to me, by far.
I like him a lot.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's clearly one of the guys who has so much money that he's just like, I'm just here for the laws. This is good shit.
I wonder why he does it. Does he want more money? Does he need more money? Does he?
I think he likes being plugged into it. The thing he's always loved the most.
That's possible, right? He's probably, he probably likes it more than doing nothing. And it's not an all-year job, I don't think, No,
of course, especially not these days. I saw he's in the documentary because Jordan. I'm gonna get some details wrong, but Jordan played Charles's team in the playoffs. Of course, Jordan won, and Charles Barkley's like, that was the first time in my life that I realized I was not the greatest basketball player in the world. that man over there was, and I didn't even feel bad, honestly. It's a gunslinger contest. He's faster. He's always gonna be faster. I feel like if they'd let him just keep going, he'd be like, he probably whooped my ass today. In anything. He's just better.
In anything.
I'm about halfway through, so I didn't. That must be in the second half. But I did see that as a highlight. That it's pretty good, The Last Dance. It's on Netflix now if you guys want to watch it, and I'm having a good time. It's not sponsored if you're curious. But
Careful, Kyle.
I'm enjoying it. It's fun to see it. And it's not as so when I read about it, I guess Jordan was like kind of behind the making of this, and it's a bit of a Jordan puff piece on how wonderful he is all the time. And I don't think there's very much negative about him that I've seen at all. 6 episodes in, and there's like hardly a flaw. It's always like the second he took the court, he was the best player I ever saw. Doesn't matter whether it was college or into the pros. Jordan's like, I decided that what I had to do, I didn't have a voice. So I didn't assume leadership by talking. I just went and outplayed the best player on the team. And it's like, really? Before the season even started? Maybe. But it's a little suspicious.
One of the coolest things about him is that that I've noticed in the documentary is whenever he had to go into a playoff or championship situation, he needed to self-motivate somehow. And so he would find little things, like little slights from a player on the other team, and he would make it the biggest thing. and it would just he would get into his own head. And there was one game where, like, first game of the playoffs, this guy did really well and Jordan didn't do very well, and the guy pats Jordan on the back and says, "Nice game, Jordan." And so that became a news story. Jordan had told everybody, he said, "Yeah, he patted me on the back. It's a nice game. We'll see about that." So game 2, Jordan goes and just blows this guy out, holds him to like 4 points for the game. Jordan gets like 50 or something ridiculous. And then and they asked him in the interview, he's like, "Did he really say that?" And Jordan goes like, "No, no, he didn't say that. I just said he did."
I needed to see the headlines to get myself mad enough to do well.
There was he was playing golf before the playoffs, if I recall, with the Boston Celtics. And Danny Ainge is like, I left with a good amount of Jordan's money. That was probably a mistake. Jordan's like, "Tell DJ I got something for him tomorrow." DJ was their best defender on the Celtics, and Jordan just whooped up on that guy so hard that like they had to he's in foul trouble now. Like he quickly got 4 fouls, so they put another guy on him. I think Bill Walton was the big white guy, And he can be seen cursing out DJ because now he has to defend Jordan, and he fouls out. And no one can defend Jordan without fouling the guy. And
have you gotten to the part where they're talking about the Olympics when I can't remember what country from fucking Europe that dude was from? There was this guy named Kovac or something, but he was from Yugoslavia
Tony Kukoc or something like
Tony
that.
Kukoc, yeah, something like that. And he's in the modern day. Tony is in this documentary explaining what had went down. Well, I guess the general manager for the Bulls is wanting to rebuild soon, and he's all he's talking about is how good this Tony Kukoc guy is from Europe, just singing his praises. Meanwhile, you got poor Pippen over there on his like $300 a week contract or whatever, and you got Michael Jordan. And what they really needed to do at that point, because I think this is Olympics time, is like pick up fucking Dennis Rodman, because I don't think they had him yet. But in any case, Jordan and Pippen do not like how much the GM is talking about how good this white boy is from Europe. So when they play Croatia in the fucking Olympics, they just shit on him. They just shit all over him. They hold him to like 4 or 5 points for the game, and they're just like that's picking on him.
Very difficult, because who else is he going to pass to in Croatia?
Exactly. He's the best player in Europe, and they just shit all over him, and they're laughing about it. And then they go to modern day Tony, and he's just like, I don't understand why they're so mad. They do not like me.
Just won the game. Why you have to be mad?
It was really like that. He was just like, I try my best every day, for life, and they come and they don't like me.
That's like that was the Flyers goalie that got bullied, Brizgalov, where like he got so disheartened being a Flyers goalie because it's the hardest position in the NHL, probably being a goalie for the Flyers. You could have the best night of your life, and the next night give up 1 5-hole, and they'll be like, "Trade him, trade him!" Like, and then they'll go through 5 goalies in a year and be like, "Why is it not panning out?" People got one bad game, but there was one time where Brizgalov let in like 9 goals, and like all the Philly media was coming in. He's like, "I write headline for you. Brizgalov suck. He bad at hockey. I'm having bad time. I'll be honest with you. I'm having bad time here. I'm not having fun to play." It's like, what do you do for fun, Ilya? I watch video on internet about space. I have bad hockey game. It make me feel good to see how big the space is. This game it don't matter.
Oh, that's great.
Dude.
Oh, I like him even more now. I don't even know him. I watch video about space being so frank and honest about it. I love that. He's literally telling you what he does. I go home and watch video.
Literally, you just look up humongous big on there and you'll find him going, universe is so like humongous big. Like,
no one throw a battery on Pluto.
There are no park on Jupiter. That's where I want to live.
It's rough as a goalie. See, most players, like in hockey, if they just hustle enough, Philly will love you. Love you. Hustle, bleed every now and then, and Philly fans will love you. You don't even have to be great. You just have to try super hard. You have to have a big fuel tank. As a goalie, though, that's not really an option. You just get shit on.
Yeah.
You guys have a good one now. Carter Hart's great.
As I think about it, though, Snow and Hextall were loved in Philly. You know how they did it? Fighting. They're the only goalies who always were trying to fight people. So
Hextall should have got suspended from a lot of games because you're technically not allowed to just skate at the other goalie and beat them up. Right? Like there were a lot of times where there's a big line brawl. This was like the 70s, and so you could do whatever you wanted. And the Hextall would be on this end, trying to come on. And the other goalie's like, no, I don't want to. And then he just books it and skates the entire length of the ice and tackles the other goalie standing still in his net. It's like you need to.
Philly
and then
loved him.
Now he's a general manager for a team, isn't he?
He's great. He's wonderful. And Snow used to fight people too. He was the goalie that replaced Hextall for people watching.
Yeah, Garth Snow.
And I don't know. Good times. I liked it when Philly was tough. I liked it when win or lose for in the 70s clearly, but even the 80s and the 90s, they had some of the toughest guys in hockey. They like even if they lost the game, no one wanted to play them. And then that changed. And now that's just normal.
That's how every sport is, right? When you go back to like the 2 or 3 generations ago, like everybody was just tough as nails and scary as fuck. There's an SNL sketch about the early days of football, and it's got Steve Martin in it. And it begins, it's like this black and white footage, and Bill Hader's doing his like old timey ESPN voice. He's like, it was the dawning age of the NFL. And no player was more feared than Billy the Gun Van Gogh. And,
the gun.
and he's quarterback. And they go to like all these players, like who ask him, who did you fear the most? Oh, no question. The gun. Everybody says that. And then they show like Billy the Gun Van Gogh playing, and it's Steve Martin out there in that old timey meat leather helmet, and he's got a gun. He literally he's got the football in one hand and a revolver in the other. And anybody that comes near him, he's waving it at him like, back.
Thompson makes it around the line, and the gun wins again. Oh,
I was watching.
I'm telling you, no one's going to take him down before they get that gun out of his hands. You got to imagine, when are the other players going to bring their own guns?
I can't find his name quick enough, but there was the Pittsburgh Steelers had a defensive line they called the Steel Curtain. They were very good. They were tough. One guy would fucking wrap his arm up with tape to be like a Popeye super arm. And he used it as a club and just bapped people in the helmet with it as part of his move.
He put other stuff in there too.
Probably.
Glass, balls.
No, just like maybe metal, maybe some lead.
I just let me like a cast or something, a bunch of paper mache. I don't know. Just make it big and heavy, and he would just clobber people in the head with it. It was. I saw
Fighters
that.
have done that.
Fighters
have done that where they do the load. I think they call them loaded wraps, where they've got they instead of using like that ace bandage type shit to wrap their hands, they're using like paper mache or whatever in plaster, and it makes them like hard as fuck. And there's that one, I want to say he's a Japanese guy. It's not allowed. It's very much not allowed. Just like the gun.
Like, this is striking me as cheating.
Yeah, there's this one guy who's talking about it. And you notice, like, midway through him explaining that his opponent had loaded wraps, that he's got a dent in his forehead big enough to put a golf ball in. Like he's like, yeah, so he hit me in the head here and, well, crushed my skull. And he's got a hole in his head.
How do you expect not to get caught with that kind of cheating, though? Like,
how would they catch it? They've got to unwrap. They got to take your gloves off and unwrap your hands to catch that.
Oh. Okay, I was imagining that it was the whole thing. It's just a hard player.
You're just walking around with big like clubs on your hands, and
they're much better at it now. What happens now is the hands get wrapped under, like, while an official watches them get wrapped, and then the official signs it. So it's across all these layers of tape and stuff. You really can't fuck with it after he does that. And then after they take the gloves off, they watch the wraps get unwrapped, just so that no one could have fucked with it in the middle.
You should have been doing that from the beginning. That feels like...
Well, they're slow learners, but yeah.
Then again, there are...
Especially with brain injuries.